Hey mama, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole, and this morning we're going to be doing a yoga flow for the second trimester. The second trimester is usually a very exciting time for mamas. I know it was my favorite trimester. It's when you sort of start spreading the news about your pregnancy, body starts to transform and shift, belly starts to grow. You'll probably start feeling the first little flutters of baby within the belly. You start to have more energy. If you were suffering from morning sickness, for a lot of women that tends to pass within the second trimester. And so today's class, we're just going to be focusing on sort of building strength, some standing postures, really sort of tapping back into this flow and getting back into our rhythm now that we have a little bit more energy. So I'm happy that you're here with me today. So we will begin in a cross-legged position. If you're feeling tight in the hips, I recommend getting a bolster or a pillow. And you can just sit back on that to help elevate the hips, tilting the pelvis a little bit forward. Gently resting the palms on the knees or thighs, closing the eyes. Begin to connect to the natural ebb and flow of your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. But if at any time the breath starts to feel constricted, stuck, or forced, please feel free to take the exhales out through the mouth. Feeling cool air coming in on the tip of the nose as you inhale. Warm air coming out on the exhale. Inhaling, breathing into the front side of the body, feeling the rib cage, chest expanding. Exhaling, feeling a softening down through the shoulders, releasing some tension, some tightness. Inhaling, breathing in to the front side of the body. Exhaling, seeing if you can release and relax into the lower back. Inhaling, taking the breath up the front side of the body, ribs, chest, heart. Exhaling, releasing any tension through the hips. Just taking a few breaths like this, noticing any part of the body that's feeling a little tight, a little tender. Taking the inhales, breathing to that space with awareness, and seeing if you can relax and let go with the exhales. Taking one more breath here. And after the next exhale, gently opening the eyes and lifting the gaze. Good. Extending the feet out in front of you. Give your legs a little shake. Cross the legs back in with the non-dominant side in front. So this will feel a little weird. That's okay. So really ground down through the sit bones. Lengthen up through the spine. Reach out through the crown of the head. We're going to inhale, lift both arms out and up. Reach for the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to hinge right. So bring the left hand across to the right knee. Right fingertips reaching out and over. Keep grounding down through the right sit bone, reaching out through the right fingertips, really creating length through the side body. Inhaling, feeling the intercostal muscles expanding. Exhaling, seeing if you can bring that shoulder back, Hug on to baby. So use a little bit of these lower level core muscles if you're feeling any tension within the lower back. One more breath here. Next inhale, reach the left hand up, expand. Exhale, bringing the right hand over left knee, reaching over to the left, to the right. Grounding down through the right sit bone, reaching out through the right fingertips. Breathing in to the left side body. Gently bringing the shoulder back, maybe lifting the gaze. One more breath here. Hugging on to baby, use the lower level muscles to come back up, lowering the hands down. Good. Gently come off the bolster if you were sitting on one. Coming over onto hands and knees. So knees below the hips, or maybe a little bit wider if that feels good. Shoulders over the wrists, fingertips pointing forward and spread on the mat. Preparing for cat-cow. So on the inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, hug onto baby. Use a little core support to support the back. Bring the chest through, bring the gaze forward into cow pose. Exhaling, you're going to tuck the tailbone down, round through the back, bring the chin to chest, drop the crown to the floor. Really press into the hands. Feel the stretch in the upper shoulders. This is cat. Next, inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, hugging onto baby. Bring the chest through, bring the gaze forward, cow. Next, exhale, tucking the tailbone down, rounding through the spine. Bring the chin to chest, drop the crown to floor, cat. Just closing your eyes here. Continuing with these movements through the pelvis and spine. Turning inwards. Beginning your internal dialogue. Noticing how the body moves with the breath. Noticing these subtle shifts within the pelvis. Sit bones widening as you come into cow. The pelvic inlet widening as you come into cat. After the next round, coming back into our tabletop. From here, we're going to curl our toes under and gently begin to lift the hips up towards the ceiling, keeping the knees bent. And gently lowering one heel at a time to the mat while bending the other knee. If you feel lightheaded or dizzy, please keep the gaze forward, lifting the head. Otherwise, you can relax the head and just really walk out the heels, swaying the hips side to side, bringing the shoulders onto the back, trying to melt the heart. Taking one more breath here before gently coming back down to our knees. Bringing either the left or right foot under in between the hands, stepping our hands up to the thigh, and gently pushing ourselves up, coming to the top of our mat. Good. All right, preparing for mountain pose. So having your feet hip width distance or wider, whatever feels good for you today. And really, I want you to ground down through the four corners of the feet. So the spot behind the big toe, pinky toe, and outer edges of the heels. So lift your toes up. Really feel that connection to the earth. Slowly lowering the toes back down to the mat. Now we're going to engage the thighs. So really sort of activate these inner thighs, but keep soft in the knees. So we don't want to hyperextend and push back. A soft bend in the knees. Really feeling the thighs activate. From here, we're going to hug on to baby. So it's sort of this action of these lower level transverse abdominis muscles that are hugging in and around, sort of wrapping baby, pulling them in. Press up through the chest, reaching for the ceiling or the sky above. And the chin is parallel with the floor, pushing up through the crown of the head, mountain. Next, inhale, bring the arms out and up, reaching up for the sky. Exhale, bring the palms together and lower them down through the heart center. Inhale, arms reach out and up, extend. Exhale, lowering down. Last time. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, this time hips pop back. Swan dive forward. Lead with the chest. We're hugging onto baby to support the spine. And hands come to thighs or maybe shins. Press back with the hamstrings. Gazes forward. Reach out through the crown of the head. Bring the hands to hips, hugging onto baby. Reach forward and out through the crown of the head. Coming back up to standing, palms down. Good. Hands back to the hips. Bend the knees. We're going to step that right foot back for warrior one. So turning those right toes in about a 45-degree angle. We're going to really sort of shift and move this right hip forward. Both hips in line in the front. Inhale, we're going to reach our arms out and up. Exhale, we're going to gently bend into this front left knee. So you're really focusing through this opening through the chest, not so much of a back bend here. So hugging on, keeping the front ribs reaching down towards the pelvis. Keep making sure the left knee is not coming over the left heel. We want the left knee either a little bit behind or on top of. Reaching up through the fingertips, keeping the gaze straight. Press back through that right heel for a nice calf stretch. One more breath here. Extend out. Exhale, bringing the hands back down to the hips and gently step the right foot forward back into our mountain pose. Feet hip width apart. Other side, hands back to hips, gently bend the knees, stepping our left foot back about 3 to 4 feet. Turning the left toes inwards, about 45-degree angle, we begin to shift that left hip forward, both hips parallel to the front of the mat. Next, inhale, bringing the arms out and up, reaching and extending for the sky. Exhale, gently bending into the front right knee. Making sure knee is over the ankle. We don't want to go further. Grounding down equally through both feet. This time, bring the hands behind the back. Maybe you can interlace your fingers. If not, just reaching back, opening through the chest. Keep bending, grounding down through the feet, lifting through the heart. One more breath here. Next, inhale, reach the hands out, warrior one. Exhale, hands down to the hips and gently stepping the left foot forward into mountain. From here, we're going to step the right foot back, a little bit wider stance now, 4 to 5 feet. Always making sure to turn the right toes in about a 45 angle. Check that the left knee is in line with the left foot and the left toes pointing forward. From here, inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, gently bend into the left knee. Keeping the knee coming towards the pinky toe side of the foot. If you look down, you should be able to see that left big toe. So outer spiraling this left inner thigh. Gently breathing here, paying attention, not going to our maximum. We never want to go 100% in prenatal yoga. Reaching our arms out, relaxing the shoulders down. One more breath here. Warrior two, gaze out over the middle finger. Perfect. Bringing the hands to the hips. Just press into the front left leg, straighten the leg. Turn the other direction. Left toes turning in, right toes turning out. Let's work on our alignment. Back toes in, 45 angle. Make sure the front knee is in line with the toes. Inhale, Lift and extend out through the arms. Exhaling, bending into that front right knee. Externally rotating this thigh, keeping that knee coming to the pinky toe side of the foot. Relaxing down through the shoulders, but extending out. Hugging on to baby here for a little bit support. Maybe lifting baby from below, activating a little bit those pelvic floor muscles. Gazing out over the front middle finger, strong like the mama warrior you are. Holding here for one more breath. Good, bring the hands to the hips, ground down, press from the front right foot and change sides. Right foot in, left toes out. Turning the toes in, 45-degree angle, checking back with our alignment. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, bend down, back into our warrior two. From here, we're going to bring the left forearm down to the left thigh and inhale, reach the right arm up to the ceiling. Make sure not to collapse down into this arm. So hug onto baby, give yourself a little bit of support through the spine. Next exhale, reach the right palm out and over, coming into our side angle pose. Breathing into this right side body, really creating space through the side bodies for baby, for belly. Maybe bring that right shoulder back just a little. Maybe gaze up at the fingers or out to the side, whatever feels good for you today. Holding here, one more breath. Hugging on to baby. Bring that right hand back. Reach back through our warrior two. One breath here. Excellent. Hands back to hips. Straighten the front left leg. Turn the left toes in. Right toes coming out. Checking in with our alignment. Right knee in line with the right toes. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, bending back into our warrior two. Relax the shoulders down, but keep them active as we reach out. One breath here before right forearm coming down to the right thigh. Reach up through the left fingertips. Really lengthen and expand through the side bodies before bringing that left palm out and over, palm facing down. Bringing that shoulder back. Grounding down, creating a straight line, left foot out through the left fingertips, feeling electric. Inhale, feeling the intercostal muscles expanding. Staying strong through our feet, exhaling, grounding down. Next breath, we're going to lift back, coming in through our warrior two, hold here. Good, exhale, hands coming to hips, straightening the legs, turning both feet forward now. We're going to do wide-legged forward fold. Now here in this position, we're going to want the outer edges of the feet in line with the outer edges of the mat. So this will be different for different people. Maybe the toes will have to slightly be inward. So just what is your foot alignment for your body. Keeping a soft bend through the knees. Let's not worry about hyperextending. So keeping a soft bend in the knees, hands on the hips. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. Lift through the chest to lengthen. Now on the exhale, I'm just going to show you from the side. On the exhale, hugging onto baby for core support. Hips push back. We're going to swan dive forward. So really keeping length in the spine and bringing the hands down. Now, if you can't reach the floor, I would suggest we get blocks, or you can have books. So we're coming back down, and you can use the blocks to let the hands down right below the shoulders. Once again here, if it feels good, you can release the neck. Otherwise, if we're feeling dizzy, keep the gaze forward. Keep pressing back through the hamstrings, but keep a soft bend in the knees. We don't want to hyperextend. So bend the knees as much as you need. If you don't have blocks, you can just keep bending the knees so you can touch the floor. That is okay. We're really working here on keeping the spine straight. And then next exhale, just release the head for a moment. Inhaling, moving the breath into the back. Feeling the breath move from the base of the spine up through the crown of the head. Exhaling, feeling yourself grounding down equally through both feet. Good. Next inhale. Bring the gaze forward. Bend the knees. Pause here for a breath. Next inhale. Come back. Bring the forearms down to the thighs and turn the heels in like we're sort of in a sumo squat. Lift baby from below, and next inhale, press down through the feet, gently lifting all the way up, rolling up the spine, roll the shoulders up and back, and gently heel toe our feet together. Good, maybe lifting up onto the toes, lower the heels, give your legs a nice little shake out, whatever feels good. And now we're gently going to make our way back down to the mat. So maybe coming back down onto our knees, coming over onto one side, and just bringing the legs in front of us. Give your legs a little shake. If sitting like this is uncomfortable for you in the lower back, and if you feel yourself rounding sort of like that, I suggest either going back to the bolster, or you can get a blanket to just help elevate the hips, to tilt the hips a little bit forward. So play around with, if you need a little bit of extra height, how much height you need. And from here, we're going to bring the legs wide, open to a V. We're going to bend the right foot into the left inner thigh. Keep the left toes flexed up towards the ceiling. Inhale, we're going to reach the arms out and up. Exhale, begin hinging over to the left. Left hand drops maybe to the shin, or maybe you can reach the big toe. Bring that right hand down to the outer lower back muscle. Really open through the shoulder. Inhale, breathe into the hand. Feel the back expanding. Exhaling, seeing if you can relax and release these muscles. As belly starts to grow and our weight begins to shift, we overcompensate a lot with these lower level back muscles. They can tend to be very tight. So next, inhale, we bring the right hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach the right hand out over to the side. So keeping the chest open, keeping that right shoulder back. Inhaling, keep grounding down through that right sit bone, reaching out through that right fingertips. If you want a little more, you can pull the left elbow down towards the shin. But listening to your body, noticing where you are. Pregnancy yoga should not be painful. One more breath here. Hugging onto baby, inhale, reaching back up through center. Exhale, just a gentle opening twist. So bringing that right hand down behind you, left hand to the right knee, and just gently open to the other side. Keeping the belly soft. We should not feel any compression or any tension through the front. You should feel this more through the upper thoracic spine. Maybe bring the gaze back to feel it through the neck. Next, inhale, lengthen, turn back frontward, square the hips, square the shoulders, and exhale, hands down. Other side. Right foot out, left foot in. Left foot to the right inner thigh, right toes flex. Keep this leg nice and active. Inhale, reaching the arms out and up. Extend, lengthen. Exhale, keeping that length, begin to hinge to the right. Right hand may be coming to the shin, or maybe you can reach your big toe with your peace fingers. Bringing that left hand down to the outer lower back muscles. Keep that left shoulder open. Keep the chest open, heart space wide. Inhales, breathing into the palm. Feel the back expand. Exhaling, seeing if we can soften and release. where we feel any tightness and tenderness. Taking another breath here. Next inhale, extending the left hand up towards the sky. Exhale, reaching that hand out and over. So we keep lengthening. We're not collapsing into this right side. So keep the length through both side bodies. Grounding down through that left sit bone. Keep both sit bones grounded. Reaching out. If you need a little more, maybe you bend the right elbow down towards the shin. Maybe we lift the gaze. One more breath here. Good. Next inhale, hugging onto baby, a little support for the back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bringing that right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the back. Keeping the belly soft, no compression, no tight twisting through the front. Really opening through the chest, shoulders. Bring the gaze back for in the neck. One more breath here. Inhale, coming back, facing forward. Extend the arms up, lengthen, reset. And exhale the hands down. Good. Extending both legs out, maybe just giving them a nice little shake. And bringing the legs in. Base of the feet, soles of the feet together. Feel the toes, balls, heels connecting. And pulling the heels as close to the body as feels comfortable for you today. The closer the heels to the body, the more intense the stretch. And so remembering always to stay within this about 70% range. When you're pregnant, you already have all of these natural hormones relaxing, flowing through your system, which is already loosening the tissues and the muscles. So we don't want to overstretch. So from here, either holding on to the feet or the ankles, or maybe even bringing the hands behind. We can start with the hands behind the hips to roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. Breathing in here to lengthen. And then move the hands to the front, so either clasping around our feet or holding onto the ankles. Keep the length through the spine. Letting the knees soften, letting the hips externally rotate here. Maybe closing the eyes. Taking 4 to 5 breaths here. Feeling the softening happening through the hips. After the next exhale, just let the chin drop to the chest. Maybe you can hinge forward just an inch. Moving the breath into the back side of the body now. Inhales moving from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Exhaling, letting the shoulders and hips soften just a bit more. One more breath here. Next inhale. Slowly lifting the gaze forward as we come up. Maybe bringing the hands under the knees to lift the knees towards the ceiling. Extend the legs out and give them a nice little shake. Excellent. From there, we will come into legs up the wall. So if you're past the 4th month, you'll want to give yourself a little bit of height. So maybe you can just stack up some pillows, or maybe in my case I have a block with a bolster on top. And you might have to play around with how far and close you need this from the wall. And then what you do is you scoot your bum as close as possible. And this is the tricky part, is getting into it. And then you're going to sort of bring the legs up. And it's okay if the hips aren't completely against the wall. And you're just going to let the legs rest and fall against the wall. And you can let the arms open out to the sides. And gently close the eyes here. This is a wonderful position if you're suffering from edema, if you have water retention on the feet, or if you're having a little SI joint pain here, because the weight of the heels presses right down on that spot and can help relieve some of the tightness and tenderness within that area. And just letting the arms be in any position. Maybe they're further out to the side, but palms facing up. Just taking about 10 breaths here. Now, if you're feeling really comfortable within this position and you'd like to stay here, feel free to do so. Otherwise, to come out, you're going to bring the feet down to the wall and gently roll over onto one side. And for the rest of us, we'll come into our Shavasana. So different options. If you have sort of a block and bolster set up, you know, we can play with the bolster and blocks. You can sort of set up the blocks underneath to give yourself some nice elevation. The hips come down onto the bolster, letting the heart space open and arms coming out to the side. This is option 1. Option 2 is we'll lie down onto the left side of the body. We can have the bolster or a pillow, something in between the thighs to work on the hip stability, and maybe if you have another pillow, you'd like to place that under the left ear, or without a pillow is fine too. And just letting that right hand gently come across and lay on your baby. Beginning to relax the body. Feeling yourself melting down into the mat. Relaxing the face, the forehead. Letting the tip of the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Maybe the lips part. And just spending these final moments with your baby. Speaking to them, loving them, surrounding them with loving energy, positive thoughts, and resting here for about 5 minutes. I will leave you here within Shavasana and coming out whenever you feel ready. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.